Welcome back to Quick Questions for Lent. Pastor Ashley is going to get us started.
What does it mean to receive the kingdom of God like a child? I think Jesus teaches this because it's so beautiful. They're innocent. They have just a pure faith in what they believe. It's not tainted. When we receive God like that, it is pure, it's not tainted, and we're kind of all in.
Well, what is the kingdom of God is my question. Jesus, it's the focus of all of his teaching. Here's what life in the kingdom of God looks like. He demonstrates it. He teaches us about it, sometimes through parables, sometimes through healings. But I like to say the kingdom of God is when things are happening the way God intends them to happen, that's when it's the kingdom of God. We get glimpses of that on this earth, and it will be that way completely when Jesus returns again.
One of my favorite Bible stories, Zacchaeus. What does Jesus mean when he says that Zacchaeus has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham? Again, it's one of my favorite stories. Jesus tells Zacchaeus, I'm eating at your house tonight. And because Jesus shows him the kindness that he's never received in his life, Zacchaeus says, I'm going to repay more than I've ever unrighteously taken from other people. And then Jesus says he has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham. Part of this is Jesus wanting to shock his audience. He has a lot of religious teachers around who are listening to him speak, thinking that it is their ethnicity that is going to make them right with God. And Jesus is saying, no, what it means to be a true child of God or son of Abraham, which is what they would have called themselves, means to do the will of God. And Zacchaeus shows that by responding in a heartfelt way to right the wrongs of his past.
Flipping to Old Testament, we're still in Ruth. Why did people validate transactions by removing their sandals? It seems weird to us. I wouldn't hand you my sandal if we were signing a document. But how we might sign a document to seal a contract, they took off their sandal and handed it to someone.
Why does a purchase of family land require that the Redeemer also marry the widow? Stuff that's happening in the book of Ruth. Again, this is all about how do things get taken care of today in this generation, but also how do we take care of the generation to come? And so part of the reason you would marry the widow is so then you could procreate. You could have children, and hopefully you would have a son in those days so that the son would be able to carry on the family name.
And finally, at the end of the book of Ruth, we get a genealogical record, which if you've read a lot of the Bible, typically that would come at the beginning of the book. And what I think is, and I don't really know for sure, but what I think is happening is that because Ruth and Naomi and the main characters of this book are women, what the genealogical record at the end is showing is that God has redeemed these women who have been widowed and cast aside, and has actually extended their family line on through history by providing for them and caring for them. So I think that's what's happening there. And that's it for today. We'll see you next time.
That was easy.